Hey, good morning. This is Mr. McLean, and we are here for another motivational message. And today, I am actually going to go back to the video that I showed all of my students at the very beginning of the year. And we've actually done a couple motivational messages throughout the year. But as I was reviewing the video, I thought, hey, there's a topic in here that I think we need to cover. And so we're going to watch a portion of the video from Admiral McRaven. If you get a chance, go to Goalcast. I want to thank them for permission to use this video, but go to Goalcast and listen to the whole thing if you haven't heard it before. So let's take a minute here and listen to Admiral McRaven's message.
The ninth week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and one special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive the freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction to rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person.
The power of hope. The power of one person. I just want to talk about that for a little bit. I know my dad wrote me a letter a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was a family letter, and his letter was addressed hope. And in that letter, near the beginning, he gave a definition, and he said, "Hope is a light in the darkness." Now, if you go back to the very first motivational message that I shared, Flying Blind, I think we can all agree that this whole quarantine, pandemic, it still feels like we're wandering around in the dark. There are so many different opinions out there and talking heads and people giving instructions and some of it conflicting that I still feel like maybe we're not quite sure where we all are. And some people may still feel a lot of anxiety by that. But I think this is a really important message for us today, this idea of hope, this idea of a light in the darkness, because in uncertain times, people look for hope. People are looking for that light. And so, in his story, he's talking about these Navy SEALs that are in this really uncomfortable, painful, torturing experience. And he said that if you go back and review it again, he's talking about, the chattering of the teeth and the groaning was so loud you couldn't hear anything else. Until one person, he doesn't say who it is, but just one person just decides to start singing. And then another person joins. And another person joins. And before you know it, he says everybody's singing. And what I think is what's really incredible is even the instructors are yelling more insults and more punishment if they keep it up, and the song just seems to get louder, right? Because they all realize that together, and I think this is important for us, together we can get through this. Together there is hope. But it just takes that one person. It just takes that one person to get that started. Just like a spark. It just takes a spark to start a fire. It just takes one person to get everybody infected with that hope. And so I want to challenge you to take a look around. Take a look around in your own home. Maybe take a look around in your neighborhood. Take a look around with your friends and say, who is it that I need to be a spark of hope for, a light in the darkness, and how can I do that? Maybe it's instigating family game night at home. Maybe it's putting up things on social media like TikTok or something else. Maybe it's videoing yourself playing a song and singing a song and then posting that. Something that's positive, something that is encouraging, something that is uplifting, not something that that's negative and kind of gets people to feel terrible about the situation, but things that are positive. And so the challenge, I think, challenge for me, is how can we be that light in the darkness? How can we just be that spark that is inviting to the next person so that they'll join in? That'll be inviting to another person to join in. And then before you know it, everybody's joining in. And we realize that together, in the midst of all this chaos, that together we can overcome this, that we have hope. So think about that. And I challenge you to reach out to somebody in some way and be that spark of hope. Also, again, use the comments below. Goalcast, like I said, was very gracious in letting me use this video. I'm sure they would love to hear from you about how this video and this presentation was helpful for you, so make sure you do that. I hope you're all doing well. I know I am. You can see I'm back here at school. I'm doing some work here today and taking advantage of the faster Wi-Fi. But I do miss you all. Trying to keep in touch with you in a variety of ways, so make sure you reach back and say hi. All right, we'll talk to you all later, and have a good week.